Bill said we work on a go-kart today. Go in here and dig it out. It's in the back of my little building here. I'm killing wasps, obviously. Set you up on a time lapse, get this thing dug out of here, and start the pressure wash and start getting working on it. Alright, did a little bit of work, got the old thing out of there. Ordered a new carburetor for the Tecumseh. I believe this is a 5-horse. It might be bigger, it doesn't have the sticker on the side there, but we're going to go up and give it a good pressure wash. Hopefully when we get the carburetor back, the clutch is good. Do the pressure wash, maybe get the tires pumped up or off, and start tearing it apart. Alright, so in today's video, we're going to be tearing this old C25 Cobra go-kart. I'm not 100% sure where it's actually from or who it was made by. We're going to be tearing the carburetor off, seeing if the new carb we have on order, the PZ 22mm carburetor, is going to help this thing run and ride a little better. And hopefully we can get it all torn apart and put back together in this video. And at the end of it, hopefully we'll be riding it, maybe get a couple hot laps, run the yard, see how fast we can run, and maybe this will be a start of a new series with go-karts as well. Thanks for watching again, and I'm going to throw you into the time lapse of me taking the frame off, and then we'll bring you over to the motor. Alright, so we're going to start pulling the carburetor off. Got to take these two Phillips head screws out, the 8mm there that holds it in. Pull the carburetor off, the two bolts in the back, I don't know if you can see them, for the exhaust. There's one on the side that also hooks to the intake with the carb. Pull the intake tube off, and hopefully in the next couple of days this new carburetor comes in and we can get this thing fired up and cruising around the yard. Put you back on time lapse and get this thing pulled off here. Well, we got it apart with the intake valve here, exhaust. Took me a lot longer than it should have. Realized that one of these screws, bolts, do not fit in the gas line. Forgot to drain the tank. Make sure if you're doing this to remember to possibly try to drain your tank before and have something set underneath so you don't get a gas puddle. Luckily I found a pin that fit it and has it from leaking. So it took me a lot longer than I thought it would, but we got the old carburetor off. You can see why I have to replace it. The jet in there, I don't know if you can see it very well here if it'll focus. The jet in there broke off, and that's what holds the float onto this little carb. And I got the intake off of it, and these big bulky exhaust. So the idea is to bolt the intake up here one of these ways, probably this way. The intake bolts right up to the exhaust manifold. Bolt the intake up and weld an exhaust off of this. Either cut it apart or just cut the end off and weld a piece of pipe to it. Take it out the side somewhere. So because the new carburetor should be a lot shorter, or take it up the top and over. Figure out one way or another to hook it up, and that will probably be all that I'm doing today. On this thing, it's getting a little later in the evening, and we'll probably pick back up on it Monday when I get the carburetor in, throw it back together, see if we can do a little bit of welding to get it all fixed up, and see if this thing will run. So anyways, we'll get back with you guys Monday. Hopefully the carburetor will come in. Like I said, today's Saturday. It's getting a little later in the evening. I'm gonna head in. Got everything tore apart here. Got everything that I needed took out of it. Remember to drain your gas, because that's a big thing I didn't do, and it was pouring all over the place. But hopefully in the next part of this video, we'll get this thing put together and out on the road or the yard. All right, back out here at the garage today. Got the go-kart all set up still. Got the Tecumseh, I guess you can call it the Tecumseh carb, in the mail. All the hardware and stuff in the box. So we're gonna start tearing it apart, and we'll get back with you guys with the time lapse to start putting it on and see if it'll run. I don't know if this little kill switch on the side works or not, but she's running. I have to get a new gas line. That one's not long enough. Run it to here. The throttle cable is froze, so I may have to either snag a new throttle cable or try to fix the one that I have and make it work for this carburetor. And then, like I said, the idea is to take this and figure out a way to get it mounted up in here. Probably gonna be just about like that right there. Right in that range. And then have something run off the top of it as a pipe that goes over the side, or use some sort of way like this. But the old Tecumseh fires up and she idles fine just how it sets. I know it's elevated. I have the chain and everything unhooked. The brake cable is froze up. The throttle cable is also froze up. The clutch seems to work, which is good. I didn't want to have to buy a new clutch for this thing just yet too. So hopefully for testing purposes, that will work. But I guess we will pick up right where we left off, maybe in a couple of days when I can get the throttle cable, either a new throttle cable in, a new brake cable in, or just fix the ones that I have. But for now, she runs and rides. She runs. I had a brain fart. We'll get working on getting this fixed up. Get a exhaust hooked up through there and see what we can run from there. See if we can get the throttle and everything. Get back with you in a couple of days.